All of the fun and charm of a B-movie, but with absolutely none of the gratuitous nudity. Today, we're talking about the Deadly Tower of Monsters. The game is described as a metafictional parody of a science fiction midnight B-movie from its golden age with caricatural heroes, which is a sentence that makes me furious. In true B-movie fashion, the plot is thin, the costumes are cheap, the dialogue is terrible, and there's such a high amount of campiness that if you asked this game what it was having for its tea, it would say, ooh, mince. You can tell this is a labour of love made by people who enjoy those kinds of movies, and I had a blast playing it. So Ollie, have you ever played the Deadly Tower of Monsters?
Do you know what? I've never heard of this game, but if I was ever going to play a game based on your description of it, I'd be so excited to play this.
It's a dreadful name, innit? Right off the bat.
The name is dreadful.
Right off the bat. I mean, it's kind of in keeping with B-movies, because a lot of B-movies are called like that, and you think, what an awful name. So it's kind of in keeping. But this game was fun.
I was going to say, your blurb is, for lack of a better word, is phenomenal.
I'll try and break down the premise and the story for you. What this game is you play as actors in a film about climbing a massive tower, battling baddies on the way to take on the big bad at the top. On the back of this is the director of the film that you're in, watching it back years later to record director's commentary for the DVD release of the film that you're playing. Have you got it?
Yeah, I'm following a bit, I think.
It sounds like a way more complicated...
I'm trying to imagine how that all unfolds in a video game.
It sounds a lot more complicated than it is. I think there's more layers that you actually need to worry about. Basically, your mission is to continually climb the tower and fight waves and waves of enemies, and then some bosses. And you have 3 characters to play as to do this. So the actor, Jonathan Digby, who stars as Dick Starspeed, which is an incredible name. There's Stacey Sharp, who plays the Scarlet Nova, who's the daughter of the main villain, and the robot who plays the robot. So it feels like a complicated premise, but you don't really have to worry about the actors because they never come out of character, and the director is not linked with the gameplay. Really, he's more for you. So the actors and the stars of the film cannot hear this. The gameplay is very simple but very fun. It's a top-down arcade shooter with some slight platforming involved. You collect a surprisingly large amount of weaponry to use, both guns and melee weapons, and you can upgrade these along with your health, stamina, etc. You also have specific abilities for the different characters that you need to use at certain points to progress, and then they help out in combat from then on, the abilities. It's a game that's not so easy it's boring, but not hard that it's frustrating. It walks a really nice line in its simplicity. It's incredibly meta, and it's an experience that I was absolutely there for. I was really, honestly, very surprised at this game. This is one of the first games that I ever got from PlayStation Plus. So we're talking like 2015. I think the first one I ever got was this one, and it was this and Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. 2 games which until this year I'd never played. So they've been in like my PlayStation library for a decade untouched. And it just never drew me because the name's not great and the picture's not great either. But it was great fun. And part of doing this Platinum review was to get me to branch out and play more games from my library and games that, you know, I could get my hands on that I've not necessarily ever considered before. And sometimes you get duds like Goat Simulator, and sometimes you get true gems like this and Tunic and stuff like that. Most of the charm does come from the B-movie elements. There's stuff like some of the enemies wearing like really horrible rubber costumes that you can tell are just costumes. You can see the wires on flying enemies. The kind of bigger enemies are animated in stop motion, you know, like old Godzilla films and stuff. There's a lot of clever homages that are in that way that are really well done. And it also helps that the combat and general gameplay is so simple that you don't really have to focus on it until there's like a big bunch of enemies. So you can see all this stuff as you're playing. You can also jump off the tower at any point and just fall all the way down to the ground. So as you get further up the tower, you just fall for minutes. And I always liked doing this because it was sort of weirdly therapeutic to just sort of fall down and see all the bits that you've already done and then land on the ground. You could teleport back to checkpoints. So I wouldn't have done it if you couldn't have done that. A little mention to the music as well. It wasn't anything insanely good, but it did fit the feel of the game very well and enhanced the experience. It's very like B-movie. Everything feels very B-movie. It's like they went, how can we make a B-movie into a game? And they nailed it on the first try. The best thing about this game is the director's commentary. As you play in the game, it sort of acts as a split between the tutorials and prompts, and then just sort of general commentary about the actors, enemies, plots, locations, etc. It's very much got the feel of Mystery Science Theater 3000. I don't know if you know what that is.
Not a clue what that is.
I think you would like it. It's kind of, this guy gets trapped on a meteor or something, I think, and he has to watch, and he's forced to watch TV with like guests and comment on it. Okay. It's very much like what people do now on YouTube, but this was the first incarnation of it. It was back in the 90s. And it wouldn't surprise me at all to find out the writer or director or both were massive fans of it. It's just so funny. The commentary is just so funny. Nearly every line is solid gold. The director is called Dan Smith. Obviously the character name, the director character is called Dan Smith in the game, and he's played by someone called George W. Robinson, who I just could not find anything out about all. I think this is the only thing he's ever done, but he should definitely be doing more stuff. Like as a voice actor, he sells it so well as this like ignorant, sarcastic director, and he just had me laughing loads. It reminded me of the tutorial section in the Spider-Man movie game where Bruce Campbell does the narration. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't know, because I played so many of the Spider-Man games.
I think it was Spider-Man 2, because it's the one with the pizza time thing. So I think it's Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2.
And in the tutorial, Bruce Campbell does the narration, who's obviously a Sam Raimi guy. And there's one bit where he's on about you can climb walls, and he's like, oh, well, if you couldn't climb walls, you'd just be Man. And would you play that? Would you play Man 2? And it just reminded me of that he's got a very similar thing, this director, where he's constantly like, it's just really sarcastic and just it's like outrageous. Yeah, so in that game, he's just basically slating you for 30 minutes while you play the tutorial. So I don't know whether George Robinson is ad-libbing in this script or whether it is just the script, because a lot of the dialogue feels really off the cuff, which I suppose is the sign of a good voice actor and a good script. I'd recommend to play it just for that, but we'll get on to recommendation stuff in a second when you ask me any question.
Okay, I'll ask you a question. How much money collectively do you think you've spent on PlayStation Plus if you've had it from 2015 up to now, like uninterrupted?
What, it were £99 a year, wasn't it, until somewhat recently where it went up, so nearly £1,000 plus.
Wow.
But I mean, I've got, what?
You will have got a reasonable amount of money.
250, 300 games out of it, so I mean, if you tot all them up, it's probably worth it. They're just the games that you get for free every month, and I'm not counting the games that you can obviously just have access to, like, you know, the extra or essential, whatever it's called. So I were annoyed it went up, because it just seemed like greediness. But I think it probably is worth it. Maybe not for you, where you obviously don't get a lot of time to play games. Yeah,
well, that's why I got rid of mine, because not only, for me, the free games were the only benefit to it, because I don't really play online games anyway.
Whereas for me, I don't so much play online, but having the access to the library where I can download the games, getting the games for free every month, and I play a lot. I play so much video games every month that it is worth it for me. If it ever gets to a point where it's not worth it, I'll probably get rid of it, but currently and for the past 10 years it has been worth it.
Well, aside from that, would you recommend this game for people chasing platinum trophies?
Yeah, the trophies are easy enough, and they're basically split between doing the story stuff and then these side objectives. The side objectives can be a little bit annoying because some of them are collectibles, and if you've not been collecting them in order from the beginning, it can be hard to figure out what ones you are missing. You have to sort of track back through the whole tower if you've missed, say you've missed like one in the middle. It doesn't tell you what number you've missed. So there's these targets that you have to shoot all the way up the tower. And if you're missing one, it just says you are missing one. It doesn't say you're missing number 13. So you can't then look at a guide and find it. You have to just be like, right, I think I remember shooting that one. I won't go there. So that can be annoying. And because I play blinds, everything blinds, stuff like this is annoying.
That would be really annoying because
Yeah.
if you remembered where it was, that means you'd have noticed it and you'd have shot it.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it took me quite a while at the end just to get this final collectible trophy, but all in all, it was still a short experience. So yeah, I'd probably recommend it. Yeah, it's easy enough. And just to play, yeah, definitely. The commentary itself is worth playing for, but it's a fun little top-down shooter that doesn't eat up much of your time. I also think it's two-player. I was never sure, and it'd obviously be fun playing this with a mate or a love interest, maybe.
Or both.
Maybe make this your first date and see how that goes. But for now, I guess we'll call cut on this video.